Okay, so if you're a PC gamer, you know the drill. You've got this beautiful, crisp, high-resolution monitor, but to get those smooth frame rates you crave, you have to drop the in-game resolution. And what happens? Suddenly, your gorgeous display looks like a blurry, fuzzy nightmare. Well, today, we're diving into a super clever little tool that says you don't have to make that trade-off anymore. I mean, this is the classic compromise, right? You want performance, so you run a game at 1080p on your 4K screen, and poof, all that beautiful clarity is just gone. It's like trying to watch a movie through greasy glasses. But what if I told you there's a way to get the performance and keep the clarity? So why does this even happen? What's the deal with this blurriness? Well, it all boils down to a simple mismatch. Think of your monitor's native resolution as a perfect puzzle. When your game's resolution is smaller, your graphics card has to stretch that smaller picture to fit, and it has to guess what to put in the new empty spaces. And that guesswork? That's what we see as blur.
And this guessing game has a name. It's called bilinear interpolation. This is the default setting on pretty much every system, and its entire job is to smooth things out, to average the pixels. But that smoothing is exactly what robs the image of its sharpness. It's the culprit behind the blur.
Okay, so what if we could just not do that? What if we could get the awesome performance of running at a lower resolution, but with the crisp image of your monitor's native display? Well, this is where our hero enters the chat. Meet Lossless Scaling, a simple little utility that aims to fix this exact problem.
So here's the secret sauce. Instead of stretching and blurring the image, lossless scaling uses something called integer scaling. It takes every single pixel from the game's lower resolution output and just multiplies it perfectly. No averaging, no guessing, it just creates a bigger, perfectly sharp version of the original. The result is a clean, crisp picture that keeps all that original detail intact.
Now, I know it sounds like some kind of tech wizardry, but the magic behind lossless scaling is actually way simpler than you might think. It's just a fundamentally better way to do things. So let's break down exactly how it works and why it blows the default method out of the water. So how does it actually pull this off? How does it create this super sharp image when everything else just gives you a blurry mess? It all comes down to how these two methods treat the building blocks of the image, the pixels themselves.
All right, first up is the default method, bilinear interpolation. You can think of this as the just wing it approach. It stretches the image, and then for all the new empty spots, it looks at the pixels next to them and just averages their colors together. It's like mixing a bunch of paint colors. You just end up with a murky, less defined blob. And that blob is the blur we all hate.
Integer scaling, though, is all about precision. There's no guesswork. Instead of averaging colors, it takes each original pixel and just turns it into a perfect, solid block. So one pixel might become a perfect 2x2 block of that exact same color, or a 3x3 block. You're making the image bigger by using perfect, crisp building blocks, not by smearing paint. That's why all the sharp lines and details are perfectly preserved.
Okay, so you might be thinking, who is this actually for? And honestly, the answer is probably a lot broader than you'd expect. It's not just for one niche group of gamers. This tool is useful for everything from old-school retro classics to the latest AAA blockbusters. I mean, think about it. If you're a retro gamer, you're constantly fighting with old games that look weird on modern screens. This is a game changer. For pixel art fans, it preserves that beautiful, chunky art style perfectly. Got a 4K monitor, but your graphics card is sweating trying to run new games? Well, here's your performance boost without the blur. And as a bonus, it can force pretty much any windowed app into a proper borderless full screen mode. It's incredibly handy.
And hey, you don't have to just take my word for it. The community on Steam gets it. This user nails the biggest use case right here. You've got the 4K screen, but not quite the GPU to match. You can drop the resolution, get those high frame rates, and this little program just fixes the blur. It's that simple.
And it's not always about raw performance. For a lot of people, it's about making old favorites playable again. Just like this user says, it's perfect for those old games that just refuse to cooperate with modern monitors and their crazy high resolutions. It just works.
But here's where things get really interesting. The community started playing around with this tool and discovered it's not just for games. Turns out you can use it to sharpen up other stuff too.
That's right. People figured out you can use lossless scaling with video players. You can actually pair it with upscaling tech like AMD's FSR and use it to sharpen and upscale video content on the fly. How cool is that? It just goes to show how versatile a simple, well-made tool can be.
All right, at this point, you're probably curious and want to see what it can do for your setup. And the best part is you can check this out for yourself, totally risk-free. Let me show you how.
So first off, this thing is super affordable. When it goes on sale on Steam, you can grab it for as little as $2.50. Seriously. For less than the price of a fancy coffee, you can get a permanent solution to blurry gaming.
And if you're still not sure, you don't even have to spend a penny to try it out. There's a free demo right on the Steam page. It'll let you test the main features and see for yourself if it makes a difference on your system.
But honestly, here's the absolute best way to try it. Thanks to Steam's awesome refund policy, you can just buy the full application, install it, and throw all your favorite games at it. Test it for up to 2 hours. If you're not totally blown away by the difference, just request a refund. No questions asked. It's a completely free trial of the full FAT version.
So when you really think about it, it all comes down to getting the absolute most out of the games and the hardware you already own. So the real question is, could this one simple, super affordable tool be the missing key to unlocking the true visual potential of your entire gaming library? From what we've seen, the answer might just be yes.